Okay, how are you?
You're fine.
That's fine. Thank you.
We are fine. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's start.
Okay. Just share my screen. So yesterday after the meeting, I think I just worked less than 30 minutes, but I just tried to do more research using at least different.
You just work less than what? I have not understood very well.
Less than 30 minutes after the meeting. I didn't work for long. So
Okay.
the only thing I did is to at least do some research using a different AI because I tried with ChatGPT and it wasn't like giving me any breakthrough. So I used DeepSeek and I saw that the configurations that DeepSeek was giving me was at least straightforward and also making a lot of sense. So today in the morning, I started doing those configurations, and I was able to get the Roundcube UI. Then I was able to log in. At first, I was able to get to the UI, but I wasn't able to log in. It was rejecting the users. So later, I did a lot of debugging, and I discovered that the users that are stored in the database were not connecting. I mean, the Dovecot user was not able to access the database. So I fixed that, and I was able to log in. So what I'm working on is now being able to get the email. I'm trying to send the email from external user to my user now, which is admin@technologyhub.org. But there are some errors. That's why I'm not able to see that email in the inbox. So I'm working on that so that I'm able to see the email in the inbox. Then I'll now move to the junk folder, see if I'll be able to mark the email as junk. And maybe I'll work on the script now to detect that and see if I'll be able to complete the FBL path.
Okay. Can you show us the Roundcube setup, the part that you have debugged on the server?
The server is actually here now. I just did the debugging a few minutes ago. And I've just taken that to the
Okay.
AI.
Can you make again maybe a recap? Tell us what was the problem and how you solve it and which solution you have used. Because yesterday we was about to use Snoopy email, something like that. But today you have solved it. So maybe you can make us a recap again. Tell us what was the main problem. I know that there was a lot of problem, but just pick maybe the main one that was blocking you, and maybe show us the error that you were getting and show us how you have solved it, the solution that you have used. This can be helpful for other people, even Karin, Emmanuel.
Okay, the main issue, let me just get this. The main issue is because initially when we were doing everything without involving the Roundcube and the MySQL database, everything was depending on the users that we have on the system, like on the server. We didn't have any user within the database. So any users that we were using, I created a real Linux users using the add user command.
Okay, can you show us that user and what was the error message you were getting?
Okay, maybe I should just log into the MySQL.
Are you logging here? Because we are not seeing something.
Yes, I'm going to log in there right now. I'm just getting my chats on the other side so that I don't.
Okay.
I'm just getting the MySQL commands. There a lot. They can't remember all of them.
Make sure to keep your credential because this is being recorded. It will be better if you don't show credential again.
Yeah, but this is for testing purpose though. So once maybe someone else is, we are going to do these configurations afresh again, so that we solidify everything.
Okay.
So for example, I have this. Let me just log into the main interface for the DBMS.
Your password is mail server?
No, that is the dash database.
Oh, because my SQL, the user is root, the password is mail server.
Normally what we do is that
The hyphen U mean user, the hyphen P mean password, or am I wrong?
I'm specifying the mail server database. Normally what we do is that we only pass this, then it will ask you for the password. So this is going to take you to either to the root DB or just to the interface. Then you'll have to choose the database manually.
Okay.
Yeah. So from here, I don't need to, again, maybe say use this database or show databases. So I can just show tables.
Okay, so MariaDB and MySQL are similar?
Yes.
Okay, I think the MariaDB is a fork of MySQL.
Yeah.
Because when I think Microsoft have purchased MySQL, a co-founder of MySQL was afraid that Microsoft will take control.
Yes.
And that's why they tried to fork and create MariaDB. Okay.
System clear. So I have tables, a lot of tables here. Maybe just to explain what each is. So I have the users table. This is where I've stored the users.
Okay.
So if I store a certain user here, I'll store his or her password and the email. Then
can you show us the user in that table? Okay.
Select is it all from you. So right now I only have one user.
Okay, one user.
Yeah. So
And the password is encrypted or?
Yes, it's here.
It's encrypted or is a clear password?
It's encrypted.
Okay, so that's not the real password. Okay.
Yeah, this is
And the encryption is made automatically by MariaDB, or you need to do it by yourself?
So I need to do it manually here first. Create it. There's a command I used to create that.
Okay. So there is no option in MariaDB to automatically encrypt it?
I haven't explored that because I was just following the instructions from the AI, but there might be a way to encrypt automatically.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. So we also have another table known as should be virtual domains. This one here. So this is where I'm specifying the domain. So you can see that this username has a mail host, and the mail host is now this one here.
Okay.
So I can create several users here, and those users can now have access to.
What? And show us what you have inside the table of domain.
Domains, virtual domains.
Yes.
Okay. Select from. So
Okay.
the domains I have technology, app.work.
Okay.
Then these other tables, they are just automatically created, like
Okay.
the sessions and all the system and all that.
So you were using this user, and this user is a Linux user?
No, this one now is not a Linux user. It's like a user added to the database. So I just use the user now to access this, access the UI. Yeah.
Okay. But okay. But what was generating the issue?
What was generating the issue was that the postfix configurations that I had were still pointing to the Linux users, and it was not allowing me to log in using the
Okay.
database.
And what is that user from Linux that you were using?
We have a lot of users, like there's a Godric here. SU Godric.
Okay, you were just choosing one of those user and you were using it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were using it to send email, right?
I was using it to try because for you to log in, you need to create a user and use that user to log into your.
Because the UI were not showing. Now, if you log out, the UI will show.
Yes, the UI will show. That
Okay,
was
okay.
issue.
Well, try to log out now. Try to log out.
Okay.
No, on the left. On the left now. Yes, there. It's very slow.
I don't know. It's just still speeding.
Enable the Apache on it. Then that is it.
And you have to use which database?
I'm using Postgre database.
All those stuff will your machine will support it because they are very heavy. Can you show
So
us?
this is the Roundcube database. When you run it, this is what will happen. It's 17
No, go on
table.
command line. You are using PHP admin.
Oh,
So you have installed the Postgre and install again the PHP admin. That will not be. That can be very easy on your local machine.
yeah.
Can you connect there from to your PHP and show us table user that you have created?
No, I normally don't use the command line in doing that. I use the interface. Then it becomes very fast.
Oh, you check that with command line there.
Yes,
Ask
but
to ChatGPT to connect
oh,
to database with command line. What are you doing? Use the same command line that you already okay. You want to put there. It's localhost. Just ask him connect to PostgreSQL because now he will go and connect database. Just have to ChatGPT connect to Postgre with command line. Just ask him connect to database. Just connect to just connect to Postgre, not to a specific database. Once you are there, you will make sure everything and that will show you.
okay.
Ask to ChatGPT. Tell him that you want to connect to Postgre from no, I want to see first all the database, not use it.
No, there are other databases that we are only using Roundcube.
Yes, but show all database. I want to see the list of all the database. Or maybe it's
that might not be important. Oh.
I want to see the list. I want to see them.
They are my private database. The only the Roundcube that is what I'm working on.
I am saying this. So you are using what you have used. If you have your private database in Postgre, in that case, what you will do is you use something maybe like MySQL instead of combining thing for other thing, because a reflex when you connect to a database, you make when you connect to something like Postgre, you want to list all the database because you are familiar. You are the one who made all the setup. Me, I am not the one who made all the setup.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I use the interface, the Postgres interface.
Yes, but when you are working, I don't know, in your mind, you don't follow the step. You are including some step that have no value to what you are doing. You are spending energy for nothing. Because you have installed the Roundcube now. I don't know, you use a database maybe that you are using, I don't know, to do what. And now they ask you to show, you say private project, private what?
No,
this is a testing purpose.
This is the database, Roundcube database. And
Yes,
these
that's
are the
why
tables
you
when you
connect there.
install it.
Well, that's why you connect there. I say ask ChatGPT the command to list all the database, to list the name of the database.
Smart grade is a different is someone's database. It is not what we are doing. So it is not needed in our conversation. It's a different database. When you see smart grade, it's a different database. So this is what I'm working on. Roundcube.
Wait. I will tell you one thing. This test is about testing purpose. It means that if you have any kind of work, all those, don't combine them. You are just
No, I am not combining.
yes, but if you have not combined, show us the list of the database from the terminal. That's what I am asking to you.
This is not a new Postgre. This is an old database I've been using for like 10 years. So there are a lot of works on it. So I only show
Okay. I understood. What you will do now is to use MySQL for this work. You need to install MySQL. Don't use the Postgre. Because I will not tolerate to spend my energy, ask you to run a command. You start saying this. You are just spending our time. Here, what you are doing here is something not experimental. It means that someone can even insert a database. And during our call down like this, I ask the person to delete it. And the person can delete it, and the person will delete it.
Yes.
So I don't know why you go and use the database. You say this. If you already have Postgre on your server, use another database for this work, because you will not spoil our energy. You are saying that this on this work, what we are doing here is experimental. It means that we can see everything that we want. We can do everything that we want. If you because right now you are giving a limitation on our freedom. Because when we say we insert a database here, it means that we can create, we can delete, we can play with it as much as we can.
Okay, so I will install.
Remove this. Don't do even on local. Don't do that on local. Go on server. Do the same thing that Karin don't have done. She go on server and she try to see what Google have done there. If you have your private thing, I don't know why you are doing this experimental work on something that is important for you. Because you will just destroy our brand. What you will just destroy our creativity. Right now, we go to ChatGPT, we are asking for a command line, and you say you cannot show all the database because what?
Let me ask you a simple question. The reason why I didn't install Roundcube on the server is that Godric was working on it yesterday.
Wait. Even if Godric is working on it, you can just wait. Let's say you want to go on server and install the Roundcube. You can just check if Godric already installed it and check all the steps that he have done.
No, how can I check the step? Because I am not on his machine. How he did it, I can never know. So I have to give him the space to finish.
If you go on Roundcube, you want to check if the Roundcube is installed. You have the command Roundcube version. You will see the version. If you want to see if the Apache, because you have the Roundcube documentation, to install the Apache, you will check if the Apache Godric already installed it. To install maybe the MySQL, you will check if Godric already don't install it. You can verify that. And if you have a step that you have not do, you can then do that.
No, that will hamper because I will not know what he is working.
Yes, that is much better. That is much better. Instead of coming here and destroying our freedom by saying that private for what? That is much more better. I will prefer that you go on the server for the company and leave our freedom instead of come here destroy down our mind by saying that private. Because during the call down like this, even if you have a database, we can say, okay, we will delete it because we know that this is experimentation.
Yeah, you are right.
We can decide like yesterday, after some troubleshooting, we were saying that, okay, we will move from Roundcube to Snappy email. because we want to play with it. We want to have our freedom. And if Godik is working on server, or maybe you can work on another part. You have the scrapping part, you have a lot of things. So you connect to server, you have a documentation. You can say, okay, if my colleague is already not working, I will check if he have installed the MySQL. I will check. You have all the command. You will ask to ChatGPT how to check if my colleague already installed a database, the MySQL. How to check if my colleague already installed the same thing that Karine have done. What she said, okay, if Godin is already done working, what I will do is that I will try to check.
Okay.
That is the big problem we do. Every time that I give something, you go ahead and do another thing. Every time, the same thing, the same problem. Like you have some issue in your mind, the issue to understand, to follow what we are saying. And if you want, don't do again this kind of work. Because this is, so I say the database, this is, what is that?
Yes. So I'll try and get.
That is not my problem. My problem is that you don't listen to what I say every time. You don't listen to it. That is my problem. Because if you are taking small tests, you go and complicate it every time. You go and complicate it every time. That will not be helpful for us. Like the FVL, you have worked on the detection automating part. That's good, but you have the spam down assassin. Imagine all the time that you have lost on, you have spent on that. Because the problem with you, you don't know how to make a step by step. In your mind, you want to go fast. I don't know if sometimes you take time to really dig step, but you want to go do things. And most of the things that you are doing have no value. Will bring no value because in science computing, in the today world, you can run a lot of command, you can do a lot of automation, but that will bring no value. Like me, when I work with big company, we have a requirement to do no work if business did not ask that to us. And even when businesses they ask that to us, we need to follow step by step, because as engineer, you can spend a lot of time on something and you think that will generate no money for the company, but most of the time that will bring nothing, no value. You can spend time create complex code and so on, but business company don't need that. And even most of the code you can spend time on it, but that will bring no value. Since yesterday we are discussing about this thing, we did not say about installing the PHP-admin because we don't want to add a lot of components. If those components are not really important, we want to focus on them now. We want to focus on code. Only add a component when it is really matter, when it's really important. If you don't want to work, you want to take your old code that you have used in other work, in other this, that will not be helpful for me. I will tell you down that that's bullshit done for me. Because our goal here is not to block the code that have been done and put here. No, our goal is to understand everything from scratch. Or maybe it is easy, or maybe you want, when I give a test, you want to use your old code. You want to use your existing job that you have done in the past to try to solve it. That will not work. Since 2 years, since 2 days or 3 days now, we are talking about the Roundcube. We are trying to install it. We are trying to troubleshooting it. Rodrigo have shared his screen, even Karin. You did not see no one go there and try to complicate and add something that is not in the requirement. So forget immediately to using your old code. Forget it immediately to use it. That will not be helpful here. So even the database that you are saying that you have installed, you have not installed it. Because the good news, when you install the database like Godik did from scratch, that will help you to try to understand about some new problem. Like what Godik did, he installed the database MySQL from scratch, and the UI was not working because of the user. And by doing this kind of thing from scratch, that help us to understand deeper what we are doing. And even if you want to use your database, be sure that your database is not important. Or maybe you have installed something on your computer. If you want to integrate this, make sure it's not important, because at some point we will delete it, we will remove it. Gori, did you make the brainstorming with Emmanuel yesterday and Karin, as we discussed yesterday?
Okay. Because I was running into a lot of issues, and it was I mean, it was like I was closing the day, and I was very tired, so I saw that we may end up wasting a lot of time now that I was also very exhausted. So I told them that we can have a meeting today once I'm able to figure out something, maybe very early in the morning. So I just saw it was necessary for me at least to have something that is working before we could maybe have a joint meeting and discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Emmanuel have some problem that I have seen. It's that he sometimes he try to complicate things that are easy, or maybe sometimes he's trying to use an old work that you have done in the past for this test that you are doing. Everything that we are doing here is experimental, and we are working everything from scratch. So I think that making brainstorming with Emmanuel and Karin time by time, especially with Emmanuel, I think Emmanuel have an issue to follow the step by step that we are doing here. I don't know if he's in hurry or not. Emmanuel, are you in hurry when you are working here?
No.
And why you did not take your time, go step by step like Karin, like Godric? Don't be in hurry. Take all
Okay.
the time that you need. Go step by step. If you don't, because if you are in hurry, you will. But when you have time, you can make a call with them, so to a brainstorming on with them to remind them what we really need. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Emmanuel, make effort to really follow what we are doing here.
Sure, sure.
In your mind, if you try to go fast as you are doing, you will fail. It's not that you will fail, but you will abandon. You will abandon this thing. You will abandon it. Because at some point you will see that thing will not work. Nothing will work. That is the problem with this email part, because you may think that doing complex thing will help you, but if you do those complex things, at the end you will have a system that will not work. That will not work, and that will not be benefit for business. Like in this stage, what we need is what? We need to have an interface where user can mark email as spam. We start with the Roundcube, but normally, if we did know about Snoopy, Snappy no email, I think maybe we should have used Snappy no email, because Snappy email don't have a database. They are using a JSON file, and that is something that I like. So if I did know about Snappy, I believe that maybe we should have used it instead of using Roundcube, because with Roundcube, we need a database, a heavy DOM database. And one of my goal is to reduce all unnecessary DOM component. So let's assume that we were using Snappy. It means that we should have only how many components? Snappy itself and maybe the Nginx. But with Roundcube, we have Roundcube, we have a database, we have the Apache. So this is experimentation. So the more we are working, we need to make sure, even the dev code, I think it was last week, Godi was using the dev code, but we discussed and we realized that we don't really need it until we start saying that, okay, we remove the dev code inside our tools. But now with the Roundcube, we need the dev code.
So what you are saying is the Roundcube will be expensive, and the Snappy Mail will be less expensive when you are using it on production.
It's not really about expensive. It's about complexity.
Okay.
The more you add component, the more you will have a system that is complex, and more is complex, the more it will be difficult to troubleshooting, and even to us to understand what we really need. Because keep in mind, our goal is to send email, not
Yes.
to carry tools. So if our goal is to send email, if we can do that by just hit one command line, that will be fine. But
Okay.
if to do that, we need Roundcube, we need this. And if a competitor of Roundcube have less component than Roundcube, that will be fine for us.
Okay. Okay.
Because a
So
system that we are building, at the end, we will have maybe 200 tools, 200 on component. So if we don't start now by reducing them, at the end, we can end maybe with, let's say, maybe 300 on component. But if we start now to reduce them, at the end, maybe we can have 100.
Okay. Okay.
From
So
certificate to dashboard to auto renewal to FPM to maybe Postgre or maybe at some point MongoDB for scaling. All those, if you list all those names, there can be maybe 200, 100 something. So that's why when we are working, we are trying to reduce them.
okay. Okay.
We are trying every time at every step to only stay with necessary thing, because we know that whatever happened at the end, we will have a lot of them. And the more we reduce and the more we have a simple system does not mean that your system is not very performant. That does not mean that your system is not powerful. A good engineer try to build a perfect, a powerful system, but by keeping it simple. That is a good engineer. How can I say that? A perfect engineer. We make a system very performant, very powerful, but at the same time very simple. Simple in terms of user, simple in terms of the engineering, and so on and so on. But the average, the engineer, we just go ahead and build a system that is working. He will not take care if the system is complex or not. He will not take care if the system is good for the end user or not. He will not take care if the system will be easy for troubleshooting, because one of the main goals when you are building a system is about the troubleshooting. Because once you build that, you need some other engineer or maybe some support on technician who will be making the troubleshooting when there is an error. So the more your system is complex with a lot of components, that will not be easy for anyone to troubleshoot.
Okay.
Because when you build system, it is not only for you. Other people will use it even maybe in 10 years and so on. And when you are building, you think like those people who will be making troubleshooting on the system. Even if you build that for company, what they want is the performance, the result. And to start having a system that is perfect, that is simple, is by starting removing unnecessary component. Like when you are making the development, remove unnecessary DOM package, so that at the end you have a system that is not complex and that is very performance, and that is very easy to manage, that is very easy to troubleshoot. Even with the Roundcube, I am not really happy with Roundcube, but I am not seeing other way how we can go ahead and test our FBL. Because if you want to simulate test our FBL like a real user, we are obliged to use maybe Roundcube, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's another solution. But at this point, according to the knowledge that we have here now, if you want to test our FBL in real time, like a real user, we need an interface. We need that code to handle the backend. We need a database, but we don't need a complex database. Any kind of slide on database can be good for us. That's why we choose MySQL instead of Postgre, because Postgre is very heavy. At this stage, for the experimentation that we are making, MySQL is slide on database, and it's slide more than Postgre. Every time, Emmanuel, you are doing the same thing. I don't know, or you are using code for other project doing here. That cannot work here. What you are doing here, you cannot compare that with any other project. I will not spend my time go do what with project for other one. Okay, do you have other thing to share?
Not really.
Continue to say no really instead of asking them question. When you do that, you go again and start working on things that we don't need here. Godric, do you have any question, Karin?
Not for now, sir.
Okay.
Me too, not for now.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.